everybody, it's B. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, I hope that you subscribe. So today's video is a foundation review. They are probably my favorite reviews to do of like any makeup item, foundations, because I feel like a good base is just so important in makeup. If your foundation or your skin doesn't look right, it kind of like throws off your whole look. And being super oily and acne prone, I'm always looking for like the next best foundation. So if you couldn't tell by the title, I will be reviewing Fenty Beauty's foundation today. So Fenty Beauty is by Rihanna Fenty. Yes, it is Rihanna's makeup line. If you didn't know, I feel like the entire world knows this by now. Online it was sold out what I thought would be my foundation color, but there were so many choices, like I did not know what to pick. So I was like, okay, I need to find it in stores. But then a couple Sephora's I went to, they didn't even have it on display or anything in the stores. So I had to go to one like over an hour away from my home, and they still didn't have the shade that I thought I would be, but it's okay because I got a shade close enough to it. So the shade that I ended up getting is 250. Oh, by the way, this foundation is called Pro Filt'r. I don't know why I didn't mention that. And it is a soft matte foundation. I think online it says that it has medium to full coverage. I'm not sure, but it's definitely medium coverage, okay? I'm just gonna say that right now. So when I was at the store and like picking out my shades, I had something in the 300s and I just really felt like that nice tan color is going to look good on me, because I do like a shade that's just a tad bit darker than my natural skin tone, because I feel like it helps me look a little bit more even, and then I add like a nice bright concealer on top, so you know, it kind of like balances it out. And the ladies there weren't very helpful, and like they were all giving me like different opinions. I was like, darn it. So they did the little machine where they, you know, they take a couple samples from your face, like your forehead, your chin, your jaw, your cheeks, something like that, and they find the perfect match for you, and 250 was the perfect match. I looked at it, it was very yellow. It looked very pretty, it's like a golden yellow, but I was like, that's very light, like I'm not that light. But then all the ladies, they were all like, the foundation actually gets a little bit darker once you apply it, so if you get the tan shade that you want, it's going to be like 2 shades darker. Okay, so I ended up, you know, they were all like, no, just get this one, trust me, it's gonna look good on you, don't worry. So I got it. I still feel like it's a little bit light. I definitely, like I have it on right now, and I feel like I need a little bit more bronzer. I did bronze up my face, but not as much as I should have, but because I'm not trying to cover the foundation with too much powder. I want to see how it works throughout the day. And before I show you how it works throughout the day, I do want to let you guys know that I did try it 2 times prior to today. And one time I had it on for like 16 hours through a nap and everything. And the first time I was just like applying it to see how it goes, because I was just like, this is gonna be way too light. But then once I applied, I was like, oh, you know what? It melts into your skin really well. And today I wanted to try it for at least 8 to 10 hours because I want to use a primer that's from the drugstore. I've been using high-end primers, and I tried the Unicorn Essence. With the Unicorn Essence, it looked so good, but then I was like, Unicorn Essence is also new for me, so I don't know if it was the primer, because that's like a serum primer type thing. So I was like, let me try it with a drugstore primer as well as high-end, and like, let me see if it works the same way, because it really could just be the primer doing its magic and not the foundation. So now for the boring stuff, there is 1.8 fluid ounces, so hey, it's like a tiny bit more than your regular 1 fluid ounce. It's a glass bottle. It's very chicy deaky looking because it has that like frosted glass. I like glass bottles, but at the same time, when you have luggage and you're traveling, this shit is heavy, man. Like, your foundation is what makes your whole freaking like makeup bag really heavy, and sometimes it might fall on the ground and you can break it. So, but it doesn't matter. That's just like totally personal preference. It is nice looking and I do like it, and it's a pump. Thank God. If it didn't have a pump, I'd be pissed. It's like, why am I paying $40 for a foundation that doesn't have a pump when a Wet n Wild foundation that's like $6 has a pump, you know? Oh yeah, so this foundation is $40, I believe. Dang, I forgot. I will give you the real price right here in case it's not $40. I feel like it's 40 or 42. Or is that the Makeup Forever HD? Damn. And before I waste my time babbling on and on about nothing, let's jump into the tutorial. Okay, so let's get up and personal. So I want to try this out with drugstore primers, and I'm using the Revitalift Miracle Blur from L'Oreal. It's kind of it's been a favorite of mine, and I haven't used it lately. I've been using like all high-end, more high-end-ish products. So I just want to see if it works with this too. I did not buy the primer that this foundation came with. I usually don't care enough. I just don't. Like, I have primers that I like and I stick with them because I know what works for me. And like, I swatched it at the store and it just, I mean, it was a primer. It wasn't really anything special. It just felt like a moisturizer, and I'm good. I'm very oily. I don't need extra moisture on my skin. I did use a moisturizer, so that's all I had on, and now I have some primer. So I applied the blurring primer all over my face. I do like that silicone feel. I know a lot of people don't. I love that feel. It makes my skin look good. And now where I get the oiliest, like right here on my forehead and my cheeks, I will be applying this one right here. This is from Hard Candy, and I feel like it worked really good for me in the past, so I kind of want to, I mean, I have used it all over. I just don't want to put it all over because it is like a very intense mattifying, and this foundation is mattifying to begin with, so I feel like I don't need that many layers on. I just want to see if it works, like on the T-zone. I don't know, I'll see. A little here and a little here. And that's it. So they said one pump. Alrighty. And I'm gonna start on this side. I'm not gonna apply the other side with a brush, only because I've tried it with a brush and it looks very streaky. I don't like it. The foundation's just not like thick enough. I don't know. It just doesn't go. The foundation is very light feeling, so I do really like that. And it's drying very, very fast. I've also already used up the one pump. Like, normally I don't do that with foundation. I just don't, but yeah, it kind of melts in with my skin like really, really well. I used it 2 other times before, so this is not a first impression. So I'm gonna add another pump because this thing like melts into my skin really, really fast. And when I first, also like about the shade, when I first got this shade, I was like, there's no way I'm this, like it looks really light, and I was just like, that's not my shade. But the one that I wanted, it was like something in the 300s. Like, they didn't have it. And a couple girls, they were like, no, it dries down. It actually gets darker. So I guess it oxidizes on them. I don't feel that it oxidizes on me, but I did notice that like it melts into your skin and doesn't just like sit on top of your face, like on your skin. It just doesn't float around like looking like a terrible shade. It actually like blends in really, really nicely. So I was definitely impressed because even though I didn't feel like this was my color at all, like I felt like I was gonna be so light and so ashy, it actually like, it melts, like it works. Especially after I like contour and everything, or like just using a tiny bit of bronzer, like it looks like my skin. So this is one layer, and my acne scars still do show through. I don't have any active acne right now, like no pimples, but I do have scars, and I'm going to cover them up with my concealer real quick. And I'm using NARS, like a NARS stick concealer. I'm gonna apply just a little bit more like around my cheeks where I have my scars, just so it has like a little bit better coverage because I did put concealer on top. It layers layers really well. I've never layered it before, and it layers so nicely. It looks really good layered. Just gonna apply a little bit more. Now I'm gonna put some concealer on because your girl needs it. Okay, so my foundation is done, and I feel like it looks like skin. It's matte, but not completely matte. I feel like the L'Oreal Pro Matte actually looks more matte, and this one definitely looks a little bit more like skin. I see a little bit of sheen on my cheekbones, my forehead, and my cheeks. Let me do the rest of my face, add a little bronzer and a little bit of highlight and some blush, so I'm not like one flat color and just pale looking. Okay, I'm back, and I just kind of bronzed really lightly, put a little bit of blush on. In person you can tell it's just like not that dramatic. I didn't really want to contour anything because I have to do like all these errands today. By the way, it's like really early in the morning, so I'm really tired and very sleepy. I got like 3 hours of sleep last night. But in person, back to this foundation, in person this foundation looks really good. Looks like my skin. It looks matte. I hardly powdered. I never do that, okay? I'm so oily, like I always gotta powder up so much. And when I'm looking in the mirror, like I look like I put powder on, but I didn't. There's like a powder finish to it, but it's not so powdery where it like looks flaky and bad. I think it looks really smooth on the skin. It looks really nice. So I'm happy that my drugstore primers are working with it. I do really like that. So I will be doing checkups throughout the day so you can see how it breaks down and what it looks like after long wear. Okay, so I've had this foundation on for almost 5 hours now, and it looks nice in person, but on camera it looks like I'm not wearing any foundation to me. I don't know, like I'm getting shiny here, 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 and it doesn't look that good. I don't know. I'm not liking this right now. I mean, I have the normal creases right here, and I creased like under my eye, but that's just my concealer, and that's that. I'm gonna leave it on for longer and see what happens, but I really want to blot myself right now, and I feel like I shouldn't, just to see like, you know, what it looks like in a few more hours. But I've been out and about. I've been out and about and doing very random errands today, so I really want to blot myself because I look gross and I'm like talking to a lot of people, but we'll see. Right now I'm honestly not digging it. Not digging it. So hey guys, it's the end of the night for me. I'm just dying to take my makeup off. Like I just don't want this on any longer. I want to be comfortable. It's currently 11:45, and I've had this makeup on. Wow, I don't know when I started. I can't like think straight. It's not even late. I can tell you right now that this is not good for long wear. I don't think it's good for long wear. I took a really short nap. It was like 30 minutes to 40. Okay, that's not short. Okay, it was 30 minutes to 40 minutes. I was just kind of like snoozing, but not actually napping. Like I was just like laying there with my eyes closed, and then like I actually napped for only like 10 minutes. But when I woke up, I looked really sweaty, like I had a dewy foundation on or something, or I sprayed something dewy like all over my face. But it didn't look good. Like it actually looked sweaty, and my pores looked enlarged. I didn't bake or anything. I put a little bit of powder like right here in the T-zone, but I didn't put any on the cheeks, and I really should have, because as I was going out and about and like seeing people and whatnot, I really wanted to like powder my face really badly. And I felt so gross at one point that I just took a napkin and dabbed it like right on my cheeks and just a little bit on my forehead, and that's it. I didn't add anything else to it. If anything, I just was trying to soak up like a little bit of the oil because it just felt really gross, and I did not want to talk to people like that. I did not look good. It looks Like in person, it just looks like skin, and I kind of need to like add a little bit powder. I do look shiny, like it looks sweaty, my pores look enlarged. I do love the way this foundation finishes and dries. It does dry fast. It's a little bit runny. It feels very light. It's super comfortable on the skin. It's not like a thick, creamy feel, so if you have very oily skin, you will like the way that it sits on the skin and it just melts in. It does oxidize a little, even though I feel like people aren't calling it oxidation. They're just saying, oh, it gets a little bit darker as it dries. It's kind of the same thing. I mean, throughout the day, some people are like, hey, it gets darker throughout the day. For me, it gets darker like 10 minutes, 15 minutes right after. Like as I'm applying it, it gets darker, and then that's the color it's gonna be for the rest of the day. And in person, in like normal lighting and all that, it does match my skin tone. It looks good to me. It has enough of the yellow. It doesn't look like ashy or nothing like that. I would like to apologize about the price. It is not $40, it is $34. It's around like a MAC foundation's price. So I'm actually surprised by that, and I'm very glad. And that's a very reasonable price for this foundation because I think it's pretty good. I just would not wear it to special occasions or for long wear. But if this is something that you want to wear every day to work, this looks really good in person. It doesn't look like a thick, cakey layer of makeup. Now, don't get me wrong, it still looks like foundation. You will still look like you have makeup on, of course. But it looks good, and it feels comfortable on the skin. It's great for every day. I think it's a really good everyday, like office, school, something like that, if you like to wear makeup to school or the office, you know? But I would not pick this for like weddings, a hot day. Even though it's mattifying, I just feel like it really wouldn't last because my oils are breaking down right now, and it's cold outside, and it's already like kind of, it breaks down, and like my face oil like eats through the makeup, so it became a little bit more sheer throughout the day. It wasn't as opaque. Price is good, formula is good, texture is nice, feels nice on the skin, looks nice, great range of shades. You will most likely find something in, if you're in the middle shade, you can probably get away with wearing like something a little darker or lighter because there's so many choices in the middle. I'm very happy that I did get to try out this foundation in the end, even though it took forever. And everyone kept like talking about it. I was kind of getting sick of it. I'm like, okay, like I don't really care. Like, okay, it's just another celebrity line. But Rihanna did herself. It looks really good. I love like the whole line. I wish I could have bought everything from it. I would like to support her that way, but I can't. But if you can, go check it out. I think the whole line of everything, like everything she has was bomb. If you like videos like this, please let me know. Foundation reviews are totally my favorite to do because, I mean, it's foundation. Like, it's what your face will look like, you know? So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And you can follow me on my Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. They're all BushraHamilton. And please feel free to write down any suggestions of new videos. Should I get the Galaxy? Should I? I don't know. Like, it's really glittery, and I love the glitter eyeshadow. So I'm kind of like debating because it's a little pricey. I don't know. Would you get it? Did you get it? Have you tried this foundation? What are your thoughts on the eyeshadow, the Fenty line, this foundation? Let me know. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!